Hello friends. In today's video, we're going to talk all about volleyball. History, skills, positions and rules of volleyball. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The history of volleyball. The history of volleyball began in Massachusetts, USA, in 1895. Its inventor was William G. Morgan, professor of physical education. The original name of volleyball. The original name of volleyball was mintonette, but the name volleyball was soon adopted. The net in the history of volleyball. William Morgan got his inspiration from tennis regarding the idea of a net sport. However, with the net positioned higher than the tennis net. History of the volleyball ball. The volleyball had to be somewhat bigger than a tennis ball but lighter than a basketball. A light leather ball that could be easily thrown over the net was then created. History of the volleyball rules. In 1912, the number of players in a volleyball team was 6, which is the same as the current number. The rotation system of the servers was also implemented concurrently. Volleyball scoring system. In 1916, the scoring system changed to a format that resembles today's scoring system. The maximum number of points changed from 21 to 15 points and the sets were first introduced. The winner was determined as the best of 3, meaning that 2 sets were required in order to win a match. Volleyball reaches Europe. In 1915, volleyball reached the French beaches brought by American soldiers who fought in the First World War. Volleyball spread especially through Eastern Europe where the indoor games are popular due to the very cold climate. Limit on the number of hits and blocking rules. In 1920, there was a great modification in the rules of volleyball. It was established that each team was allowed to touch the ball a maximum of 3 times. The first attempts at blocking happened even before they were identified and recognized by the rules. Only in 1948 blocking was codified into the rules. Volleyball became an Olympic sport. Volleyball became an official Olympic sport in Tokyo, 1964, the same year in which the rules of the international volleyball were standardized. Playing with the feet. In 1994, new regulations were approved to be introduced in the 1st of January 1995. Among them, the ball might be hit with any body part, including the feet. New rules in 1998. Rally point system of 25 points, without advantage, and 15-point tiebreak set. Introduction of the player libero. Greater freedom for coaches to give instructions. What are the fundamentals of volleyball? The fundamentals of volleyball are the serve or service, the reception or pass, the set, the attack, the block, and the defense. Serving techniques in volleyball. The serve or service is the action that puts the ball in play. A well-performed serve is one that makes it difficult for the opposing team to receive, pass. Execution of the underhand serve in volleyball. Execution of the overhand serve in volleyball. Execution of the jump serve in volleyball. Another example of execution of the jump serve in volleyball. Techniques of reception or passing in volleyball. Reception or pass is the action of receiving the opponent's serve and passing the ball to the team's setter. The most used technique in the reception or pass is the bump. It's important to note that the ball should be hit with the forearms during the execution of the bump. Setting techniques in volleyball. The set is usually the second of the 3 allowed hits that each team has. The goal of the set is to put the ball next to the net, so that a fellow player may execute an attack. The setting technique most commonly used is the set or volley. Let's see another example of set using set or volley. Attacking techniques in volleyball. The attack is, mostly, the third allowed touch in the ball that each team has. The most used technique for attacking is the spike. The spike is performed by jumping and hitting, while in the air, the ball downwards with the palm of the hand with as much force as possible. Blocking techniques in volleyball. The block is the first defensive playing action of a team. Its goal is to block the opponent's attack and send the ball back to the opponent's court. The block may be a single block, performed by only one blocker, a double block, performed by 2 blockers, or a triple block, performed by 3 blockers. Defensive techniques in volleyball. The defense is a basic skill that may be performed with any body part, including the feet. The goal of the defense is to prevent the success of the opposing team's attack. What are the volleyball player positions? The setter, the middle blocker or middle hitter, the outside hitter, the opposite hitter, the libero. The setter in volleyball. The setter in volleyball is the brains of a team because he or she is responsible for defining the attacking playing action. Setter's techniques. The main technique performed by the setter is the set or volley. Volleyball setter in action. The middle blocker or middle hitter in volleyball. The middle blocker, also called center, middle hitter, is the player positioned at the center of the net, or the attack zone, position 3. Middle blockers techniques. The middle blocker is specialized in blocks. The middle blocker in the attack. In the offensive play, the middle blocker is responsible for the quick attacks at the center of the net. Outside hitter in volleyball. The outside hitter is an attacking player that attacks mainly in position 4, attack in the left side of the front court. The outside hitter in the defense. The outside hitter in the defense zone is a good passer and part of the serve reception row along with the libero. The outside hitter may play attacking balls at the backcourt, jumping from before the attack line or 10-foot or 3-meter line. The opposite hitter. The opposite hitter is an attacker specialized in attack in position 2, on the right side. The term opposite is linked to the fact that this player is positioned opposite to the setter, which makes it easier for him or her to receive the greatest number of balls to attack. Position of the opposite hitter in the defense. The opposite does not take part in the reception of the service. He or she must be positioned in position 1 when his or her team is under attack. The opposite hitter in action. The libero in volleyball. The libero is a defensive specialist, specialized in passing and defense. Libero's limitations. The libero may not attack when the ball is above the upper edge of the net. He or she may not block or attempt to block. The libero wears a different colored jersey than the rest of the team. What is the volleyball court size? The volleyball court is a rectangle and is 18 meters, 59 feet, long and 9 meters, 29.5 feet wide. The lines on the court are 5 centimeters, 2 inches wide. What is the volleyball net height? The height of the women's volleyball net is 2.24 meters, 7.35 feet, and the height of the men's volleyball net is 2.43 meters, 7.97 feet. The posts are 2.55 meters, 8.35 feet, high and are placed 0.5 meters, 1.7 feet, to 1 meter, 3.3 feet, outside the sidelines of the court. The volleyball net is 1 meter, 3.3 feet, wide and 9.50 meters, 31.2 feet, to 10 meters, 32.8 feet, long. How many players are there in a volleyball team? A complete volleyball team has 12 players, with 6 players on court. How many sets are there in a volleyball match? A volleyball match has a minimum of 3 sets and a maximum of 5 sets. The team which first scores 25 points, with a difference of 2 points with respect to the other team, wins a set. If the game is tied at 24-24, the set will continue beyond 25 points, until one of the teams builds a 2-point lead over the other and wins the set. The team who first wins 3 sets, wins the match. In the event of a tie at 2 sets each team, a 15-point tiebreak set is played. The team that first scores 15 points, with a 2-point lead over the opposing team, wins both the tiebreak set and the match. Positions and rotation in volleyball. 3 players must be positioned in the attack zone or front zone, position 4, at the left side of the net, position 3, at the center of the net, position 2, at the right side of the net, and 3 players must occupy the back zone of the court, position 5, at the left side of the backcourt, position 6, at the center of the backcourt, and position 1, at the right side of the backcourt. Rotation in volleyball. The order of rotation in volleyball is defined by the team's starting lineup in each set. When the team that is receiving the serve wins the rally, it gains the right to serve, and its players must rotate 1 position clockwise. The player that was in position 2 goes to position 1. The player that was in position 1 goes to position 6. The player that was in position 6 goes to position 5. And so forth, until all of the players have advanced 1 position clockwise. Important note: the player that occupied position 2 and advanced to position 1 will, necessarily, be responsible for the serve that follows. Hits by the team. A team may touch the ball up to 3 times before sending it back to the opposing team. At blocking, the touch does not count as a touch by the team. Double contact fault in volleyball. A player may not hit the ball twice in succession. At blocking, the touch does not count as the first touch by the player. Ball carrying, extended contact in volleyball. It is not allowed to push or throw the ball, it must be rebound or hit. Penetration above the net in volleyball. Only during the action of blocking it is permitted to penetrate into the opponent's court above the net. Penetration under the net in volleyball. It is permitted to penetrate into the opponent's court under the net in the following situations: without interfering in the opponent's play, maintaining part of the feet on or above the central line of the court, contact with the volleyball net. Contact with the net by a player, between the antennae, is always considered a fault, if it occurs during a playing action. When the ball touches the net and causes it to touch a player, it is not considered a fault. Touching the posts, the ropes that hold the net or the net itself is not considered a fault if it is done outside the limits of the antennae. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. You may also watch other videos here.